What is up, you beautiful people? Thank you so much for tuning into the episode. I just got a couple things I want to note here. My audio was having some technical issues on the day of filming. So you're going to hear my audio go from very clear to very echoey because I was able to retrieve some of the audio from my guest's mic. The other thing is Ryan mentions that the dated and faded market is happening on November 15th, but in actuality, it's happening on the 22nd. If you're in the Ventura County in California, make sure you check that out in the link below. Thank you guys again so much, and I hope you enjoy the episode.
I can't give you something that I'm not proud of. I pull a lot of inspiration from Hispanic culture and, just growing up around that. It became like, oh, I get to do this, right? And you continue to do that. And now you kind of give yourself purpose. Bodybuilding is such a robotic sport. You have to do the same thing every day. Eat the same thing every day. That's so important, dude. That's so important. Like, hey, bro, how you feeling? What's going on? How's your mental health?
Hey everyone, welcome to the Highest Version Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Philivong, and on this podcast, we talk about falling in love with the process of getting better every day, becoming the highest version of ourselves. Today's guest is Ryan Yere. Growing up in Oxnard, California, he is one of the most multifaceted individuals I've ever met in my entire life. From being a bodybuilder competitor, winning the hardware and bringing it home, he actually won overall fit at the Summer Shredding Championship, and now he's taking his talents to teach the young generation to win hard cold medals as well. He is also the man with the most drip on the West Coast, from being the creative director for Retour Co. and Dated and Faded Night Market. And he also is playing that baby making music from the 90s and the 2000s. So without further ado, let's welcome our guest, Ryan Yere. What's up, bro?
Thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for, meeting with me in person and all the effort. I know prior to this, just ran into so many technical difficulties, so hopefully we just keep running with it.
Yeah, let's do it, man. We're making it work.
Yes, sir. So this podcast, Highest Version, is really built on mental health and the importance of that. So my first question to you is, how is your mental health nowadays?
My mental health as of now is good, but it wasn't always good. So I started prioritizing my mental health when I realized certain things in my life weren't going the way I wanted it to. And instead of blaming outside sources, I started taking accountability and making sure that everything I do and that resonates out for me starts with my mind.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest source for anything. So if my mind isn't right, I know that everything else around me won't be either.
And how long did it take for you to realize that, hey, what happens from within is going to be important because it affects everything on the outside?
It took me a while. I think I barely got the grasp of it. Maybe within the last year or two.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say I struggled with mental health. I always had pretty good mental health, but I think the things that I prioritized and the things that came first in my life were off. So that narrative in my mind was off, and then I finally grasped it, and I did all these things. These accolades you just named, where dude, that was an amazing entrance, by the way. Our intro, yeah, that was awesome. So those accolades just came maybe within the last year or two. At least half of them did. So and that's when I kind of got my mental health started. So. It's great that you opened up with that. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, our mental health goes ups and downs like an emotional roller coaster, as you know. And it takes a lot for people to kind of hone in on it. You know what I mean? For me, it took me, when I was 21 years old, when I really went into depression and realized how bad of a spot I was in and how much the narrative that I had of myself and how I look at myself was so bad. And it takes a lot of courage to really look at your thoughts face to face. Did you have that kind of experience as well, where you're looking at your thoughts oh damn, I didn't realize this is where I was at in my life?
So I did lose my dad last year, and that was a big realization to me that life is actually what they say it is. It's so short, and we don't know when our time is going to be up. And then I know that my dad had a very fulfilling life, but there was things that he did that we all knew were bad. he was a heavy drinker, and I think that maybe is why he met his demise a little bit, just because he knew his health was bad, and he just was like continued to drink. And I remember one of the last conversations we had. I told him like, "Hey, how you feeling, Dad?" And he's like, "I feel good. I feel great." And then I was like, "Are you still drinking?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "You got to stop, man." And he's like, "I know." And that's part of the mental health battle that I feel like maybe I deal with a little bit, is doing the things that you know are bad, and you know that they're bad, and you still continue to do them, right? So like my mental health necessarily isn't the worst, but I understand where my wrongs are, and to do them continuously after you know they're wrong is part of a mental battle, right? So
I mean, a lot of that is with like either it depends on what that thing is, whether that's a a temptation, a addiction, or a like something that you're using to cope. Like there's always like I know historically or scientifically we always have heard about alcohol and drugs being something that you just use to cope with. It is the bad thing that's happening in your life. And I'm so sorry to hear that your dad passed away, and no one ever wants to go through that. So my condolences. So man, I'm gonna take you a little bit down trip memory lane. I'm gonna go through your journey here as best as I can.
Let's do it.
So how was it growing up in Oxnard that really has shaped you to be the person that you are? When I have heard about you and what who you are as a person, like I know there was moments in life where financially wise that wasn't the best. Oxnard also is split between north side and not south side. I don't want to say split, but I know they're known for two different things. North side's like more gentrified, south side's like come from impoverished and grit. So I want to start, how has growing up in the south side really shaped you to be the Ryan Yere that you are today?
Wow, I think it's everything. A lot of what I do creatively comes from that space. And growing up in the south side of Oxnard, I was kind of the only Asian kid that grew up on my block. So I was like the Asian kid who hung out with all the cholos and and all that stuff. So a lot of my creativity comes from that aspect. I pull a lot of inspiration from Hispanic culture and just growing up around that, and Oxnard culture in general. Right? It has a big place in my heart to like represent, and I feel like I do that, and I like to do it tastefully, because it's there's a lot of times where people do Oxnard things and it comes off a little tacky, and I'm trying to blend the kind of lines between your neighborhood t-shirt from like Blue Zone. Blue Zone's a Oxnard staple, so that's for my south side people right there. So you get your pro clubs and Dickies at Blue Zone, and then I want to meet it with the higher fashion aspect, right? So I want it to be able to be something that the boys in the hood can wear, but at the same time it has the same respect that you can wear it on the runway. So those two are a little bit like they juxtapose each other, but I think that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah, I think combining the whole that kind of where you grew up from and making on the runway, I feel like is so beautiful, because you're combining two worlds that from one world really isn't accepting of the other.
Exactly.
But I know I've seen pieces of yours and I'm like, damn, I'm like, well, even in your post I'm like, how the fuck did this dude make it look so good? I'm like, if I put that on, I'm pretty sure it's not gonna work well.
Thank you, man. No, I would be surprised. Like a lot of my boys make fun of me for that, like like, damn, bro. Actually my buddy Brandon, one of my best homies, dude, he always clowns me about like wearing old military stuff, because he's a military guy, and I'm like, yo, do you wear that? It was like I think a liner, like a military liner. He had it in his garage. He's like, I asked him, do you wear that? He's like, I'm not gonna wear this shit. And so he gave it to me, and I threw a fit on. He's like, bro, how did you do that?
That's what I'm saying, dog. I'm trying to be a fat, be purposeful with my fashion, just like you.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, thanks, well, the arms gotta get a little bigger before I get there. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you.
Speaking on that, man, congratulations on that.
Thank you, brother.
I know it was a hard work and grit, but we're gonna get back to that.
Yeah.
With growing up, I think one of the stories that really I found interesting about you was that when you were growing up and you were going to the thrift store with your mom and like you're like, I just want to be the drippiest, but I don't want to tell people where I got it from.
Yeah.
But tell me about that experience and how that has maybe played a role in Retour or like just like you as a person.
It was everything. Literally, like all that stuff. Like my experience shaped, the brand, myself, my personal brand. So yeah, when I was in high school, even junior high and elementary, my mom would take us to the thrift store for like necessity, right? Like she couldn't afford to buy us new clothes all the time. And then, at the time, I was kind of embarrassed to say like, I got this at the thrift store because it wasn't cool. It was before like the boom of thrifting and like everyone would go, and now it's like a business on its own, right? We would go out of necessity because we still needed new clothes, like, or new to us. So I would make the best of it, go and shop and like find something that I felt like I could wear and it looked cool, So I would find things and people would ask me like, yo, where did you get this? And I'd be like, I got it at the, I would make up something because it was not cool to say you got it secondhand, and then now like with the rise of it, it's so awesome because like you can find things like that aren't in your size and you can make a business out of it. So that's like the beginning of how Retour started. Like Retour was a vintage resale page and then it expanded to what it is today.
Yeah, I mean the whole collection of Retour, which I found very interesting when you guys came up with the name because it was when you did Google Translate, it was French for throwback, but I think it's return. That's the actual so one.
The actual definition. Retour means return. So dude, we just threw it in Google Translate and we like, dude, this sounds cool. I wish we had a cool story behind it, but that's it.
And do you in your head sometimes say Retour or do you actually say Retour?
There's a proper French term. I can't really pronounce it the way it's. I don't even want to try and butcher it, but there's a proper way to pronounce it. And I thought it sounded cool. Me and my buddy Byron thought it sounded cool, so we ran with it.
I mean, look at it now. I mean, it's everybody is saying it, and it's cool to see, and especially with thrifting, I didn't really understand it until like it started booming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And look at it now. I mean, everybody, you're laughing at everybody now who says, was saying like, oh, like I don't want to know that it's from a thrift store.
It's cool. It's become an industry on its own, like outside of or almost in addition to streetwear, right? Because now, like people are more so focused on being independent to everything else. Like big brands aren't putting big logos on their shirts anymore because it's not the main thing. Everyone wants to be unique and they want to stand out. So that's what's cool about vintage is you could have the same t-shirt as somebody else, but like the fade will be different, the wash will be different, and that's the only way you can get that is by washing it a million times. The person before you like maybe got a hole in it, right? So like that character, people love that because it's unique.
Yeah, no, for sure. Going back to your childhood a little bit, I know that you mentioned in a couple of interviews, you were in a single family household for a bit. And did you ever have to assume the responsibility of a man of the house at all? Like, did you have any obstacles when you were a young age, especially?
Oh, 100%. My dad moved to the Philippines when I was 21, I believe. So after that, it was just me, my mom, and my sister. So I had to fill that role definitely to, in terms of like the protector, the provider, kind of the role model for sure. I always made sure my sister looked at me and like was like, man, that's my older brother. That's my kuya, So I like to hold that standard for myself, and I let that carry on into my business and my personal and friend life too. Like I want them to be a beacon to everybody where, it's like, oh, that's my friend, or that's my my older brother, or I'm something to look up to.
Right. Do you put any pressure on yourself upholding that kind of reputation?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I don't like it's just me being competitive, but I don't like to lose, like that part of me like goes into everything really. Like so if one thing my pops always told me is like, if you're gonna do something, you at least try to be the best at it. So I take that ideology with me and everything. So whether that be fashion, DJing, bodybuilding for sure. You know, I don't go to lose. I go to win, you know.
Right. And the record shows, guys.
Thanks,
He's gotten a
Thank
lot of
you.
wins. He's got a lot of wins so far. And then one more thing I want to touch base on your childhood, because I know you said you were like one of few Asians amongst like, you know, a lot of, you know, very diverse background.
Yes.
Did that present any like identity crisis problems for you growing up, or you're like, you know, this is my community, you know?
Yeah, a little bit. I was always just the one Asian kid. Like there was a couple Asian kids, but they didn't really hang out with the Mexicans really like that. But when I got to high school, I did meet my group of friends who were fellow Filipinos or fellow Asians. So it was cool. I learned a little bit of both sides. So a lot of my upbringing was Hispanic. But as I grow older a little bit, like high school, I met my Asian friends, and those are some of my long life friends, like through dance and just being on that side of town. Like so the south side, CI is kind of known for like CI is Channel Islands, by the way. Channel Islands High School, that's kind of known for being the Asian high school, and that's kind of where I met most of my friends. So
gotcha.
I got a little bit of both. So it was kind of different. I would get made fun of. I remember back in high school for wearing my quote unquote cholo clothes. Like I would wear I would wear my pro clubs to dance practice, and some of my homies would be like, dude, why do you look like a cholo? And they would make fun of me, like, but that's all I knew, like, you know. And then like the shirts were like $2.
Yeah.
So
right,
you'd buy like a blank white tee, and I would just wear it a couple times and then get a new one if I needed it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure nowadays that style is like what dancers usually wear. You know what I mean? Like all
that's
the time.
The cool
you know,
thing now. Yeah, like a lot of dancers wear the baggy stuff, you know, and like it's become a little bit more mainstream. But I remember, bro, I did get made fun of, so that's cool. I'm not really salty on that. I think the progression is more so what I'm excited about to see, you know.
Yeah, see, guys, Ryan's a visionary. He knew the shit before it would have went down.
I didn't make it, you know. That I got the inspiration from my homies, but you know, maybe I did a little bit more pushing towards like the mainstream of it.
There we
go. I hope to say.
There we go. I forgot you mentioned that you used to dance.
Yeah. That was almost half my life, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, dancing for me was everything really through high school. Yeah, I did it through high school, a little bit through junior high, and then I met my lifelong friends. And my business partner, actually, Byron, that's how I met him. So after I stopped dancing for him, we did the Retour thing together. And then look at us now. We stayed friends for a while.
Is Byron still dancing or no?
Yeah, he's the dance guy. So if you have like kids or anything in the 805, Byron is your coach. Like he's the guy to go to here.
Is he in like a crew, or is he just like, you know, more of a teacher? Like
more of a teacher now.
Okay.
I think when he danced, he was on Cabo Modern or I forgot, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly what I'm so detached from the dance community, but he was on something modern. That's all I know.
That's a huge name in the dance scene, especially that's like one of the OGs that really built the foundation of dancers that are now. It's crazy.
Yeah. So he's amazing, dude. Great guy, dude.
Yeah,
I learned a lot from him, for sure.
But yeah, let's do a quick dance battle.
Dude, I haven't danced in so long, bro.
But it's kind of interesting because when you find your community, I know, like, obviously when you grow up, the friends that you had, like growing up around Mexicans, like that was your community, and then when you found, you know, also Filipinos and heritage, like that also kind of like, you're like, my people, you know what I mean? Like I know cool. It brings something different. I know it's not a distant, you know, to your Mexican friends earlier, but it's like it's just a different cultural wise. And when you find that, I grew up in a predominantly white town, as some Mexicans say, gringos. I was lost at one point too with my identity crisis because I felt like I was being whitewashed without realizing I was being whitewashed. And then when I got to my school in college, like there were so many Asians. I was like, wow, there's like a lot of them here. You know what I mean? And it was a culture shock because I would do certain things that you consider whitewashed. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but I can't. But they're like, oh, like you're one of them whitewash Asians. I'm like, so I'm not Asian? And I'm like, and then that kind of put me into like, okay, where am I at? You know?
Yeah.
In college, like I feel like a lot of people have identity crisis, and it kind of hit home for me. I kind of fell into some sadness a little bit, but then I was like, I kind of figured out like, no, this is what, it's a part of me, and
No,
that's
it
okay.
definitely is, man. I remember growing up too, like in elementary, my mom would make me. Are you familiar with like Filipino food?
A little bit.
Okay. So she would make me corned beef and rice and like egg. So she would cook it for me in the morning, and for me that's like an amazing lunch now. Like, but when I was a kid, I was embarrassed to bring that because it smelled. Like, it's always like different. Like I wouldn't say it smelled, but it was just different from every other kid's lunch.
Yeah.
Right. So I would pull out my Tupperware and stuff. And then I'd be like, I'd be kind of shy because like all the kids had Lunchables, right?
Oh, right. Oh, and you'd be
and I was like,
Mom,
I didn't get a Lunchable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I didn't realize how much love was put into that. Like, it's called baon. I don't know if you guys are you familiar with baon?
No, the only honestly, Zach, who was a past guest, he cooked that for me for breakfast once, and I was like, oh, cool.
Okay, so baon means lunch in Tagalog. So when your mom makes you baon, like that's like she's putting that's like our love language. Like a lot of times when Filipinos, they don't know how to say I love you, they say it through food. Like so that was my mom telling me she loved me without telling me she loved me. So I was a kid being embarrassed, and now like I was like, dude, that was so awesome that my mom did that for me. You know, these kids got Lunchables, and all that their parents did was like they bought that, but like my mom put this together for me. So those are things that before I thought were embarrassing, and now like I realized, it's such a blessing.
Yeah.
You know? That's maturity, really.
Right. And then obviously in the environment that they grow into, like you don't want to be the person bringing fish sauce.
But
it smells like pussy everywhere, and like you don't want to be that person, right? You want to bring a pizza and like you ask people to trade, and they're like, I don't want, like, what you're trading me, you know what I mean? So I definitely felt that, and I know my mom realized. My mom realized like, oh hey, like he's going to this type of school, so he needs to just stick with sandwiches. Like he can eat all the Asian food he wants at home, but let's just keep like lunches to like American food. And I was like, okay, it's fine. But I think she was protecting me because don't want to be that guy.
But that also too, I have a little bit of a gripe with that because the acclamation is a little bit like why do you have to censor yourself a little bit? You know what I mean? Like those are the things in society that I feel like maybe I don't understand yet because I'm not a parent, but that's something I would love to still continue to make my kids baon because that's culture, dude. Like I don't want to wash that away from him. Like I don't want to be the last generation to be like, oh, you're gonna have like spam and egg for lunch. You know what I mean? Like or like. And not be like, I don't want you to be embarrassed about this because this is your culture. You know, I want to instill that to my future kids and in hopes that, you know, it keeps going. And I don't want that to stop for sure. Yeah. Because like buying a Lunchable, bro, it's cool when you're a kid, but like if you really break it down, it's so like bland.
Yeah,
like
so bland.
Like why are you giving this to your kids? So
yeah.
I don't know. There's those things I'm thinking about right now.
No, I mean, I definitely agree with you. Like, we shouldn't really take away that culture. I think my parents or our parents' generation is like, oh, I don't want like, especially when they were growing up, they were like in survival mode, right? So they were the ones that were the odd ones, and that they would either get picked on or stuff like. So they were in survival mode and like didn't want. At least from my family perspective, that's what I was thinking. My parents are huge. That whole model minority thing, like. Shut up, do your work. Like don't bring up any complaints. If you bring complaints, then like you're gonna get fired. Like that sort of thing. So that's what I think it is. But I totally agree with you. Like moving forward, like I definitely just want to keep like doing it because that is culture. And then you never know who's gonna be open to it. And then and it'll change your life forever. You know. Yeah,
and it'll just push the needle a little bit in terms of like everyone being accepted. I think those little things that you do, like whether that be, you know, being okay with wearing your flag to school or like, you know, just the small things like lunch, it'll just make the world needle move a little bit more.
Yeah. Biggest thing for me is language, like trying to make sure like that gets translated because I know that kind of is lost in my generation, but I'm trying to regain it back so that my parents, or at least for me, like I know that like that culture stays within myself. Yeah. Because my fiance, like she speaks very good Cantonese. Okay. So I'm like, okay, like if she can do that, then like why can't I? Yeah. And I know I took that for granted because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna meet, you know, another Lao girl like I don't speak to.
So you're Lao?
Yeah.
Full Lao or?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you Lao American, sorry. Yeah. Lao American. But full Lao, I like to say Lao, Thai, like that Southeast Asia, like we all party the same.
Yeah.
There's always a Henny bottle on every table. So.
I feel like that's any Asian.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, we get into, side tangent, but like, I feel like my experience with like, Chinese and like, Taiwan, like their alcohol choice is different, but I feel like every time you deep root in Southeast Asian or, sometimes Filipino too,
yeah,
it's always Henny. And like, I'm like, oh, I don't want to drink this, but then some switch happens in my stomach and I'm like, yeah, I think I'd rather have this over anything else, right?
It's just the first shot, bro. That's all it is. It's just once you get the first shot in, everything's cool.
Oh, that's dangerous. But I feel like your first shot determines the rest of the shot.
Of yeah.
Like if it doesn't taste good, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be hard. But if it's smooth, you're like, oh, yeah, it's go time,
Exactly, bro.
I want to fast forward to your time with Retour, obviously being the creative director, and you have a lot of pieces that speak so many different languages, and you just talked about Oxnard culture. I just want to know what's one, if you could give an example of one piece that kind of conveys a message of what Oxnard is and kind of your life experiences.
Well, I mean, I drop an Oxnard hoodie, that's like one of our most bread and butter pieces. It's simple, super simple. It just says Oxnard in the front, and then Retour branding on the back is usually what it'll do, and we'll do different variations of that. But my goal for that is to kind of elevate, like I said, the corner store garment. Like, so you can, it has the identity of, say, a Pro Club or what other brands, like a Shaka hoodie. But I'll fix it where it has like a different shape, right? So it may be a little bit shorter, so it'll be cropped into like super boxy and baggy, right? So you won't get the standard corner store fit, but you'll get the same vibe with an elevated twist.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah. Have you ever? I mean, we've been through phases of fashion from skinny jeans and tightness to now baggy and boxy. Has Retour ever gotten to that skinny tight part?
No.
I mean, look at pieces. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
No, I've never been like a skinny jean guy. Like I think the skinniest I've ever went is maybe like slim straight. But even then, that's like you still have some room. Like there's enough where you can do a squat in. Like I never really got into the like spray painted super skinny. Super skinny. I maybe in like junior high, but like it was small frame of my life, if that. Bro, like, I've always just been baggy, like just more comfortable, and I think it's more flattering.
I started to really realize how comfortable bagginess is.
Yeah, bro.
I used to do a lot of skinny jeans in college, and like walking around, like, oh man, like sitting sometimes was so uncomfortable, and I'd keep tugging like to like make some room, and oh man, I really do enjoy the baggy fit now, and it's more comfortable. I'm wondering what the next fashion new trend will be. You think if a new fashion trend comes up, you think Retour will go in that direction, or is it more like sticking to the roots of like, hey, this is what we're about?
I like to stick to what I know, and I feel like that's where certain brands fall short because they try to chase the next trend and do this, this brand is doing this is hot right now. And then they lose the identity, right? Yeah. So if it doesn't fit Retour's identity, I probably won't make it. And our identity is mostly, baggy or silhouettes, boxy. Stuff that kind of, like the neighborhood homie would wear. That's where my general idea stems from. Where like you can wear it in that sense, but it gives it a little bit more where it's like, oh dang, like I could kind of wear this at Fashion Week, but I could also still pick up a 40 from the liquor store with, you know what I mean? That's the vibe I try to go with, and I don't think skinny fits in that.
No, it definitely does not, bro. It definitely does not. I want to know what makes you so detail oriented. I mean, when we talked offline, like you go to the warehouse, choose the fabric, make sure that's the right fabric for whatever piece is going to go next. You can't really teach that nowadays, or even like on the come up. I just want to know, what has made you so detail oriented, and how did you get that mindset?
Oh, it definitely stems from making mistakes. Honestly, there's been times where I've made shirts and they all came back really trash, or like there's hoodies where they come back trash and I can't sell them, or it's just I can't like give it to the customer comfortably with me being like, oh, this is sick. You know what I mean? So that stems from failure for sure, and being an engineer, really, like being super dialed in with like every aspect of learning the whole thing, so that I know that the product I'm giving my customer is truly 100% quality. Like people throw out that word quality so many times, like nowadays, where it's almost become watered down, right? But the reason I'm so detail oriented, I think not with just that, but just like everything I do in life is because of that. Like I can't give you something that I'm not proud of.
Right. Yeah. Especially as the creative director as well, because everything that goes out is a reflection of you as a person, not only the brand, but you as well.
Definitely me. And I think now more than ever, people are buying into the brand because they really fuck with you. Like a lot of people have quality products now, so like the next extension from that is you as a personal brand. Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to learn too as a creator, about how much like the brand, obviously I bring in great people that, like yourself, that are talking about great stories, but not a lot of people hear a lot about me. So like I'm trying to this year, like I'm trying to make sure like that is the point, and my life stories and going forward, I feel like with fashion has, we go back to your story about having the most drip, thrifting, like fashion has played such a huge role in your life. So I mean, this is I feel like a big question, but what does fashion mean to you?
Personality, for sure. So anyone can wear a t-shirt, or anyone can wear, like they can go buy the same fit, but what really resonates with the person looking at your outfit is your personality. And then what stems from that really is your confidence, right? If you feel confident in what you're wearing, and that's, I feel like, the best reflection of your personality is when you're fully confident, so personality. Like I can give you a fit, but like it's never gonna be, you're never gonna wear it the way I wear it, or vice versa. Like I'm not saying my way of wearing something is the best, but maybe I put it on you and it might look better. So making sure that your personality is shining through that product.
As I'm trying to learn more about fashion and what goes well together, I mean, can we rate the fit? I mean, it's not much
solid,
of a fit, but
bro.
Can we rate the fit?
Yeah, solid, dude. I like the shirt, man.
I've
been rocking a lot of collar lately. I feel like it's a little bit more mature. I'm straying away from like the graphic tees and stuff like that. So I think I'm also kind of leaning towards that too, because I'm not a spring chicken anymore, bro. I can't be wearing like graphic tees, with like girls and like titties on it. Like I remember that was like really big.
Yeah, that was at one point. Yeah.
What brand did that? Obey, was it Obey or something like that? Or someone did they did graphics with the girls and the titties and stuff. And I'm almost 30, bro, so I can't be wearing stuff like that. So collars and something more just like chill, simple. Yeah, that's where I'm leaning towards too, and then that'll reflect in retail. You guys will see it.
Yeah, you definitely were one of the guys that had I Love Boobies wristband.
Oh yeah, I definitely wore those. Not just one, too. I wore like 3.
Dude, oh man, that was
Zoomies.
Yes,
you would get them at Zoomies.
Yes. And that was I think it was Silly Bands before Silly Bands was a thing.
Oh my gosh, dude! Wow, what a time capsule, man.
Dude, it's but now I feel like everyone's just wearing like a different. I don't think there is a band out there anymore that's that represents anything like that. Obviously,
no. Yeah, that was amazing. What an era.
I want to get into something even more deeper on your personal development, and that's the 75 Hard program.
Oh yeah,
man, let's for those viewers that don't know, what is that program, and what did you have to do during that time?
Yeah, okay. So 75 Hard. This program definitely changed my life. It kind of kickstarted the whole bodybuilding thing, right? I needed that mental reset because I knew that, my daily habits weren't the best, and I needed something to kind of kickstart that and figure out, okay, why am I so tired all the time? Why can't I get up and go work out? It's because my mindset, circling back to our first question is the mental health aspect, and this program really rewires your brain. So for 75 Hard, you have to work out 2 times a day, 1 outdoor, 1 indoor, 1 gallon a day. You have to read 10 pages of a book, and no alcohol for the 75 days. I think that's all, because there's certain phases. There's phase 1, 2, and 3, and each phase gets more difficult over time. But I think that's the backbone of the program, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't done it in a while, but yeah. So doing that constantly for 75 days, it's just like it almost is like, I know we had a conversation on the phone, but I like to explain it as it's like brushing your teeth now, right? So it doesn't matter how many times you brush your teeth, you're gonna still have to brush your teeth, right? And it doesn't matter how white your teeth are, you still have to go brush your teeth. So that's how I treated the program. I had to work out twice a day, and that was my non-negotiable, right? You're not gonna go a day without brushing your teeth unless you're a weirdo, right?
Yeah.
So I made it my checklist. So water, working out twice, no alcohol. What else? What is it? And 10 pages of a book a day. And those are just non-negotiables, and it becomes routine. And then you like I said, brushing your teeth morning, night. Yeah. Boom, boom, every day, and you continue to do that. And now you kind of give yourself purpose, and I think that's the most important part of the program. It's not a like get fit program, because people have different results. Right. It's more so what you get mentally from the program.
Wow. I mean, I've heard people do it, and I hearing from your experience, like it's definitely has been from the benefit for sure.
100.
One of the ones that really, the results that you talked about that really stuck out to me was that it broke down your wall of emotions. Yeah. And I know as both, me and you identify as males, and how hard that is for us to really break down our wall of emotions, be vulnerable with other people. Yeah. I want to know how this 75 hard day program broke that wall, because that's not a wall that's easy to dismantle.
Yeah. I think that stems from also being more confident. When you get something done every single day without any hassle, you're not like, oh, finally. It became like, oh, I get to do this, right? And then now I have more confidence in myself to present myself to other people. Like now I can have a better conversation with, say, my partner, or like whoever I'm talking to at the time. Like if my girl needed something, I felt like maybe I didn't have the right way to say it because of that mental barrier, right? And then as I got more confident in myself and like understanding me is what like kind of the program did. I just felt like more open, like even to my friends. A lot of the times I was uncomfortable to explain myself emotionally to them. Yeah. And I think as I progressed through the program and got it done, like I was more able to talk to them about like, hey, like, how are you feeling, bro? Like, how many times have your boys said that? Like, until like, see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's so important, dude. Like, that's so important. Like, hey, bro, how you feeling? Like, what's going on? How's your mental health? Yeah. Those are questions like as male, we quote unquote call them sus, or, our generation calls it sus, because as a man, you're just supposed to like figure it out. But dude, I think that's what your homies are for. Like, they should be like, let me help you through the struggles, or let's talk about the struggles and see what we can do together to figure it out. Yeah. As it's not a single battle. Like, I think that's where a lot of men's mental health come from, is like they feel like they have to go through it alone. But you have so many people who are there around you, you're just afraid to do it. Yeah. And afraid to ask,
We hate to be burdens. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Exactly. Or we don't come off as weak, because it's like, oh, like, well, he can't handle his shit. So that's why he has to, do something about it.
That's why, man, socially being a man is kind of tough. So yeah, I get it. But like me speaking to someone like me, like maybe a male in their late 20s or even early 20s, like don't be afraid to ask for help, or just check in. Like those little check-ins with your friends, your family, your girl, your mom, or your parents, whatever it may be, they're so important. Don't be afraid to do it.
Yeah, I feel like that speaks volumes. Like, I didn't talk about my problems, and that's what led me to bottle things up, blow up. And then I got to suicidal thoughts. I went through depression, anxiety. All that stuff was a stem from just not telling people how I was feeling, because I was like trying to uphold like growing up in that kind of male environment, but also like I didn't want to burden anyone. I was like, oh, I can handle this myself. But obviously there's a time where like you do everything you can and nothing's not working until you reach out to someone and be like, hey, what do you think of this? And talk me through it. And they give you a way that kind of solves years of or months of like where you couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
Like Homo sapiens are just socially, like we're social at the end of the day, and like we just need to work together as a community rather than try to push each other away. That's where we thrive a lot. I know it's easier said than done. Some people are introverts, some people are extroverts. Either way, I feel there's always some way for you to be able to get your feelings out, or ask for help without being a burden, because you're not at the end of the day.
Yeah, dude. Well, let's talk about your journey with that, dude. How was like battling depression and like, well, let's start with, where did that stem from?
Yeah. So growing up, my parents were, they've told me their story about escaping war to come to this country. And after talking to my therapist, I found out that I internalized their trauma. So they're talking about, seeing dead people, surviving with no money in their pocket. I was like, I have to be perfect in order for my whole family to survive. And I have an older brother, but him and my parents had some turmoil. So therefore, like, I felt like I had a lot of weight on me and I needed to be perfect. So if it wasn't A, it was a failure. If I didn't do well in that game, it was a failure. So many things, so many little things. The teeter-totter of sensitivity on success was so sensitive. And because of that, I also had this huge mentality about what people thought of me as a person, right? I was voted nicest guy in high school. So that's something I wanted to uphold in college. When I went to college, I was exploring myself. I made a mistake. And when that mistake happened, a lot of people had a perception of me that I felt like, realizing after therapy, I felt like the perception of me was just this huge monster, this person that was, like they shouldn't like be with Randy because of X, Y, and Z. He did this, and because of that, I felt like nobody wanted to be my friend. Nobody wanted to be in my community. I forgot my family, right? Because I'm in college, like I'm away from them. So I don't, and growing up, like I wasn't explaining my feelings to my parents. I wasn't explaining feelings to my brother. And I felt alone. And because I felt alone, the only thought I had was, I only hurt the people around me. And because I had that thought, I was like, it's probably better that I left the world, because everything can be at peace. No one person can just hold all the peace in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
looking back at that now, it's crazy I even got that route, but I'm happy I did, because obviously it launched this brand. I'm way more mentally better than I was back then, and I feel like I have I'm an open book and vulnerability to really talk about my feelings, because just in case if I do need help, or if someone sees I need help. I like to say the pillars are perfectionism, caring about what other people think of me. So that's, I guess, people pleasing too. And then lack of self-worth at the end of the day. And those were the three pillars that I'm still working on today, to get over this narrative that I have of myself. And my fiance talks about all the time. She's like, you look so poorly on yourself, but like, you don't realize how much of an effect that you do have on other people. And yeah, it's true. Like I really don't. It takes a lot for me to realize, like, hey, like this is what I do for my friends. This is what I do for my family. Once I realize that, it brings me back to reality, but it takes a while for me to get to that point. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I'm so focused on the negative. That's what my brain is doing. It's so focused on the negative. Yeah. And I'm just trying to look at things more positive first before getting to that really dark place.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. Well, first of all, I want to say that everything you do matters. And I think I'm blessed to be on your podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate
this is
that.
So awesome. And just remember that, you're important. You're important. I like to tell my girl, we like to think about everything glass half full. It's so cliche to think, right? But it's so true. Like, you can either think like, oh, dang, I only have X amount of hours to do this. Instead, you can be like, oh, nice, I have this amount of hours to do this. See, it's just the perspective change, right? Or like, shoot, it's already 2:00, our Sunday's almost over, or whatever it may be, right? Instead of being like, dang, I still have this amount of hours to do all these activities, right?
Yeah.
So giving your life that perspective and understanding that your work matters and what you do matters. The people around you love you, and even if you do the greatest thing ever, there's always going to be someone that says you did the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
So why would you focus on that negative?
Right.
Glass half full always, bro.
Yeah. That's what I'd say. Like, there's just so many more positive things that people will say about you, but sometimes people's mind, like myself, will just focus on that one negative because that one person said that one negative thing. It's so crazy to think about, you know what I mean? You think about the minority, right?
Yeah, that's how the mind works.
Because it's a survival. It's a survival at the end of the day. My brain is so focused on, because like, oh, in order for me to survive, I need to make sure that negative thing is resolved.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't please everybody, bro.
You really can't. And you know, a lot of people tell me, you know, I've been lucky to have people tell me like how much they impact and mean to me. There was a point in my life too where like those kind of words just didn't hit me emotionally because I didn't believe it myself.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe it in yourself, then like words that people say to you like won't mean anything.
Yeah.
So you really have to switch that mindset of like, hey, believing in yourself so that you can believing on what people say and believing in yourself, so those words will resonate a lot more, and you're just gonna keep adding onto it.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure that out today. Just giving myself a little bit more self-love, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A little more love nowadays.
Yeah, more deposits every day. Just dude, affirmations so important, man. I don't know if you went through that with the therapy, or like I just tell yourself like you're gonna be great today, or like those little things, they go so far for your mental health. Especially just like confidence wise, like you gotta stare at yourself in the mirror instead of picking out the things that are wrong with yourself.
Yeah.
Be like, damn, dude, your hair looks good today, or like, you know, you have clear skin today, man.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be your biggest fan. If you're not your biggest fan, then no one else is gonna be.
Right. Yeah, not even your loved ones, not even your girl. Like it's crazy to think about, you know.
You gotta think about it that way.
Because sometimes people just have stuff to think about, and they're not gonna think about, you know, like, oh, let me make sure like I give, you know, Randy a compliment today, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I was thinking about like the first thing that we do in the morning sometimes, especially if we're, you know, on a fitness journey or maybe in general.
Yeah.
You look at yourself in the mirror, you look at your body. I don't even look at my face. I look at my body.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you ugly.
I don't see you put in the work though, bro.
Thank you, man.
Put in the work, man.
I appreciate that. But yeah, it's always going towards kind of a negative first on the whole body thing, which is, it's super crazy to think about.
Right.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
it's so crazy. Like our mind is our best and worst enemy.
Yeah. Speaking of, you know, thank you for going on that journey with me. But the thing with the 75 hard, I feel like also taught you a lot about time management as well. Because if you had to fit all those things on top of being a creative director, on top of, you know, doing school, on top of being a 9-to-5, like how did that teach you about time management?
I still struggle with time management, so I was thinking about doing the challenge again just to work on my time management, but those became my non-negotiables. So it's like, if I didn't do that, I felt like I was gonna die. Like I literally, like if I don't do those things, like I'm gonna die. So that's how I treated it. And so I worked everything else around it. There's a video I think I saw on like Twitter or X now, whatever you want to call it. And a professor, he filled a jar with golf balls. Have you seen this one?
Yes.
Yeah. So I love to reference this. So he filled the glass with golf balls, and he asked his class, "Hey guys, is this full?" And then everyone is like, "Yeah, of course it's full. You can't fit anything else in it." So he adds sand, and it fills in the gaps. You know, and then he asks again, "Is this glass full?" And they're like, "Yeah, there's no way nothing can go in there anymore, right?" So those are like the pillars of how I structured my day. First, you have your golf balls, right? So your golf balls are your non-negotiables. Those have to go first. You fill the jar, so the jar is our quote unquote day, right? So you fill your day with your golf balls. And for me, that was working out twice, making sure I was following that diet plan, reading those 10 pages a day. And the other things like non-negotiables, right? Going to work, hanging out with your loved ones, etc. And then you have your sand, right? And those are like things that maybe they're not your non-negotiables, but you want to get done throughout the day. Like, maybe getting some sunlight, or, I guess that comes with working out outside, but, or if you wanted to, I don't know, spend more time with your dog, that's something like you can fill your day with. So making sure that you got your golf balls done out the way first. And then if you have time for sand, put some sand in your jar, Yeah.
I love that metaphor, especially when you when you bring that up. It's just I'm using that now to kind of make sure I do my time management, because I get burnt out really easily, especially with juggling a 9 to 5 and then doing content creation and podcast editing. Like, there's obviously so much to it, but when I put in that perspective, I kind of understand what my non-negotiables are versus looking at everything as a non-negotiable.
Yeah, everything is definitely not a non-negotiable. Like, you can skip out on your buddies having beer, or or I don't know, maybe you don't have to buy that meal out today. There's food in the fridge, bro. Something like that, if you can cancel those things out and making sure you have finite golf balls throughout your day, then it makes time management a lot easier. And I'm still bad at that. My girl tells me all the time, like, dude, if you say you're gonna be here at a certain time, make sure you're here at a certain time. And like, for certain things, I'm pretty good with it. Like, if we had an appointment or something, I'll be there on time. But like, I also don't treat. Sometimes you got to remember that, sand is also important. So let's go back to this. So like, I would consider hanging out with my girl, sand. It's not necessarily a finite golf ball. Like, it is important, but if we can't like have quality time that day, then we'll reschedule as a golf ball another day, right? So in some days it's a golf ball, some days it's a sand. You don't want to neglect your partner or whatever.
Correct.
But when the days that it feels like sand, I have a hard time fitting it into my day. So it's like, okay, my golf ball today is working out. I have to get that done. So maybe I can like push my workout a little longer and, push off like hanging out with her for a little bit, like 10, 15 minutes. But it's important to her that maybe you need to understand that maybe that's her golf ball for today. Like, she blocked off that time for you. So if it's not necessarily your golf ball that day, maybe you got to also remember that it's important for your partner to be feel and understand and like heard and seen, so that, you got to show up when you say, and when she plans, so you don't get in trouble. That's just like a little nugget for me, and like maybe whoever else is listening and has that issue also. You got to show up on time.
Keys to a successful relationship. All right, Ryan, so we went through a lot of your journey, and I want to touch based on one more thing about the 75 Hard program, and I think you kind of touched base on it, but I know you said you were a super shy person at one point, but now you have this utmost confidence to do content. Content is not easy to do, like to even like film something in a public place or hold your phone up in the air. How did you go from being super shy to having this kind of confidence aura? Like, because I know you're not aura farming at this point. Like, there's none of that. It's pure, genuine. Like, it comes from like a good place.
So first off, it started with that mental battle, the hurdle I needed to climb, with building my confidence and understanding me as a person. And once I figured that out, I think content became easy. It just was like, I'm not different than I am in person. Now, the only difference now is I'm sitting in front of a camera, right? So I didn't have to change my personality. All I had to do was show everybody, like, this is me. And that's, I think, the most organic way you can present yourself. Because if you try to like, do whatever, I know there's a lot of content creators that do shit for the camera, and it's like, specifically, that's not how they act in person. They're just doing it for clicks or whatever. Like, that kind of runs out over time, right? It doesn't have a lasting effect because it's fake. It's like, you can't put that act forever, right? And so true branding, true personal branding is just presenting your true authentic self, making sure your true authentic self is just as cool as you present yourself online.
And whether that's cool or considered not cool, it still should be cool.
Yeah, it's exactly. As long as it's you and you're confident with showing everybody else you, cool or not, dude, you're cool in my book.
Yeah, I would love to hear. All right, man, let's get into your bodybuilding journey. Obviously, again, congratulations on the recent win. I mean, that's huge.
Thank you.
You said you were holding back tears, and I can imagine how much hard work and effort you put in for just to hear your name, be the champion, or your number be a champion there. I want to know, like, what made you start bodybuilding?
It was definitely 75 hard.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, and I took on that challenge after my dad passed away. I think I did it prior to his passing, but I kind of was very nonchalant about it. I could have done things a little bit better. Could have been stricter on my diet, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. But I did it the second time around, and I did it to the full capacity. And when you do that, you definitely come out as a completely different person on the other side. And yeah, that's what kickstarted my bodybuilding career. I made sure that, after the 75 days, I continued to work out. Nothing changed. My golf balls still stay the same. I still continue to brush my teeth, right? Yeah. So like I worked out, like every day, and just continue to do that, and it became routine. And as long as you fall in love with the process, it's so freaking cliche to say, but dude, so true. Like if you fall in love with it, you don't have to go to the gym, like you get to. Right. So that pushed me, and I was like, dude, this is amazing. Like, this is my life. I enjoy what I do. And yeah, it drove me to be like, well, if I'm working this hard, I might as well show it off. And that's kind of what bodybuilding is, really. It's just like the hard work is done by the time you get on stage. All you have to do is stand up there and be confident. And I feel like I already do that anyway, so.
I feel like, because I recently got an online coach this beginning of this year.
Sick, man.
Yeah. And the mindset of bulking first. And I was like, bro, I can't fit any more food in my mouth. Yeah. And then to the cut being like, bro, I can't get my grams of fat down anymore. It presented, there was a point where I was like really angry at myself, because it's like, I think it's the frustration of it. Like I want to, but like for some reason the choices and what I do is preventing me from what, my coach wants me to get to. Obviously I'm not competing or anything. I'm just doing it for a lifestyle. Yeah. But I just want to get your hear about your experiences of any, difficulties in your experience, and, just what were the biggest difficulties of that time?
Working out, or
of like just your whole getting ready for a competition, for competing in bodybuilding?
Well, the hardest thing for me, it was the repetitiveness. So bodybuilding is such a robotic sport. You have to do the same thing every day, eat the same thing every day. Making sure your step counts are there. And it takes a toll on you and like the people around you, right? So bodybuilding in essence is a solo battle, but as a person, you got to understand that your efforts for anything affect everything around you. So even though you're going through this by yourself, you're also taking away time from maybe family, or you're also taking away time from maybe your girlfriend or your partner, whatever it may be. So my biggest hurdle for that was balancing that part, right? It was because it's like, okay, I'm doing all these things, I'm accomplishing all these things, but what am I also sacrificing? And for me, that was quality time with people. I'd have to say no to a lot of family events, no to a lot of gatherings with my friends, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, especially when you were part of socially, drinking is such a big thing, in both of our cultures. And it's like, and when you refuse a shot, people give you so much shit for it, but you're like, bro, like I'm on a journey right now. You gotta understand. Yeah. It's kind of, sorry, go ahead.
It's a lot for people to understand, like, especially when you have friends who don't work out, or like, or they're just doing different things. They may not understand, like, because drinking nowadays is so socially acceptable, where it's almost like offensive. Like, it's like, oh, you don't want to drink with me? Some people think it that way. Like, oh, you don't want to drink with me? Like, what's wrong? Like, what's up? Yeah. But it's not just that. Like, you just gotta make sure that you're presenting it to them that like, this is not what I'm doing right now. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. It's kind of like what Kobe Bryant did. He said all his friends that he was around, he was like, hey, like, I'm I'm focused on this.
Yeah.
So if you still with me by the end of this journey,
Yeah.
like, cool, we're still friends. But he said a lot of people stop becoming his friends. Like, oh, he's so obsessive. He's so, like, he doesn't make time for us. But like, look at how his career was and how he was as a business person as well. And at the end of the tunnel, those people that were right for him as friends
they stayed.
They stayed. You
Yeah.
know? It's a truly comes from a part of understanding. Posing. Oh my god, dude! Obviously, your poses were great at the competition, and I seen videos of just your progression of of what poses you picked, and getting critiques. I think the one that that I remember the most is like I think it was like the motion of your hands and like being a little bit. I think one guy was like, "Oh, you don't really need that extra stuff. Like, just go into it." What's the thinking behind your poses? Because there's so many that you could pick, right?
Yeah. So you want to think of bodybuilding as kind of like a male pageant.
That's good.
It's so like weird to say, but that's true. It's the truth. Like, right. Like I said, the hard work is done by the time you step on stage. So if some guy has a better physique than you, but you present your package better, you're going to win.
Yeah.
Right. So like, that's the thing is if you can outpose your opponent, and make sure you look better than this guy. It doesn't matter if he has a 315 bench or you have a 225 bench or whatever it may be. They don't care about that. Like the guy next to you can be physically stronger, and might have a better physique than you, but if you present yourself better, you're gonna win. And that's what I knew going into the comp. I was like, maybe I won't be the biggest guy, but I know that I'm presenting my package to the best of my ability, and it's been working out pretty well for me. So picking poses is just like knowing your body and knowing like what looks good and having a second opinion. So getting a coach is also very, very important in terms of, getting that second eye. And usually the coaches have experience, right? So they'll know what poses look better for you and whatnot. But just presenting yourself at the best ability. Yeah.
I mean, even during the poses, you're constricting so much that like there could be a point you pass out.
Yeah.
I'm like, I had to. My friend was like kind of just teaching me like going through it because I had to take like comparison videos. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, do this, and I was like, bro, I can't breathe. Like we're done at this point. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, bodybuilding, lifting, the whole fitness journey is so crazy. It's not built for everyone. Obviously, the mindset is very, very hard to go through. Was there ever a time where you were just like, I want to give up? Or did you have that same glass half full concept mindset of like, oh, I get to do this?
I might be battling that right now. I'm not necessarily like, oh, I want to give up, but right now I'm in kind of a era of complacency, not in the sense where like I feel like I guess I don't feel like I have anything to prove at the moment. And that kind of was like the driving force for me when I started my journey. I was like, okay, I want to prove to myself that I can do this. And that's how I got that fulfillment with my first win, and I didn't expect to get an overall win like this soon in the freaking game. Like one of the homies from the last competition, he's like, dude, I've been competing for so long and I've never gotten overall. So that was like amazing to hear. This is only my first year, or not even in my first year. Like I competed, and in the span of like 7 months, I got 3 wins. So like I didn't expect it to get this like far. So I'm just really happy to be where I am at the moment. And I will be competing again in 2026, but as of right now, I'm like, I don't know, I'm okay with having a burger on a Friday if I want to, or I'm okay with like having drinks with the boys if I wanted to, and like spending time with my girl and having bomb food. Like, so the thing about it is like bodybuilding is a robotic sport, but if you understand that, like life is also, you have to be very malleable with it, and that's how I live my life. I don't think, and maybe that's why I do so many things, is because you have to be malleable, bro. Like you have to flow with things, and right now I'm in the era of like not necessarily give up, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's a comfortable position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as someone who's always sit in discomfort a lot,
Yeah.
does this feel weird right now?
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say I'm completely comfortable. But I'm in a place where okay is kind of in the middle, right? So I still have those times where I feel like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have ate that, or maybe I should have drank this. I still have those things. Like I still try to, stay on track as much as I can. But still understanding the discomfort, I think, is important, right? So you still have those things in the back of your mind, like, okay, let's stay in this range of macros, or let's stay in the range of these calories per day. And if you live like that and say you're not competing, you can still keep a amazing physique, but to win, I understand it's very calculated. So I still have the worries, but I'm okay with it right now.
Yeah. There's so I mean that's a good thing, bro. Like, as you know, like there's so much like things that are more to life. Like there isn't just one thing that takes over the rest of things.
Right.
But obviously that we have different values and priorities, and that's what we're going to kind of live our life by.
Yeah.
And I just want to applaud you on that. And because going through my
Thank you,
first
man.
cycle, like I learned a lot of lessons just going through it and what to do next. So
Yeah.
I'm getting back to my bulking phase. And now when I go on the cut, I'll make sure to be down to a T at that point. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. So I just want to say thank you for telling your story, your journey, your inspiration behind Retour. And I'm so glad we got to do this. And you're a hell of a person, man. Like I said, you're a multifaceted individual that has so much, just has the same mindset. I think the highest version mindset of going 1% better every day. And I'm just grateful I got to be part of this experience and hear your story multiple times, because I've done a lot of my research on you, and I know some similar stories came up, but some new things came up too. And I can't wait to see what more of life is going to present to you and how you're going to handle it going forward.
Man, I appreciate it, bro. This was amazing. Dude, highest version. I really resonate with your guys' podcast. So, dude, it was a super pleasure to be here. And if you guys want me to be back again, maybe in a year's time, in 2 years' time, maybe we can see how far we've gone.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. This will be a time capsule situation.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably be visiting Cali like once a year anyway. So
there you go. There we go, man.
Before we move on to my game show kind of thing,
okay.
Is there any topic that we didn't discuss, or any questions about me that you haven't gotten a chance to bring up during this whole entire conversation?
I definitely want to talk about Dating Faded. I think that's an aspect we kind of touched on, but not super touched on yet.
So. Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah, I know Dating Faded. The vibes, oh my god, man. I was watching one of the videos, and it was me being a dancer. I just love when everybody's going at it, or even a performance. It's a great thing. And I know you guys went through a lot of phases. There was the making it more family friendly at one point. And then you have the after hours, and it's an amazing just thing to witness. I hope I could do it in person one day.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, speak to that, and what it means for the community, especially.
100%. Yeah. So that's actually my baby now. That's kind of outside of the bodybuilding thing, kind of my main focus of the Retour umbrella. I want to encompass it with that. Obviously the clothes is an important thing to me, but bringing people together that are into the same things as me, giving people a platform in the community who don't have a platform, is the reason why we do Dating Faded. Me, my business partner Byron, and Stevie, we created Dating Faded to bring people together and give guys a platform who don't necessarily have one, to showcase their art. And I think there's nothing like it really in Ventura County. The crowd that we bring is just so supportive and so susceptible to the presentations we bring. So whether that's dance, local artists, local DJs too. We give platforms to some of my most talented friends. They have amazing DJ skills and just don't have a stage to show it off. So that's our baby for everything that kind of encompasses. If I could throw a bodybuilding show somewhere in Dated and Faded, that would be nuts. But it probably doesn't fit into the thing. But like Dated and Faded is literally a capsule of everything that I love and my business partners love all into one. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see.
Yeah, it's there's so much meaning to it, especially when I was looking at it. I mean, I don't know if this falls into it or maybe it's more Retour, but you know, Southside Lovers.
Yeah, the Southside's for lovers. So that comes from growing up on South Oxnard. That's just the saying we say for Retour. Kind of just is like a reminder that where you come from is never something to be embarrassed about. I think the South Side gets a little bit more of a bad stigma. So I added the lovers part, you know, just to kind of give beauty to something that quote unquote may be negative, right?
Yeah. I mean, when you are also putting on your own sets, I mean, Lovers Essentials. I mean, that's
Lover Boys Essentials.
Yeah,
I love like that R&B like ethos where it's just like, dude, like. I feel like sometimes me and my girl are arguing because of I love this song. Like, you know, like I just be playing this song because I love like just how it sounds and just like that emotional R&B has always been had a small place in my heart for sure.
Yeah, you need the rain. You need anything that will, you know, just get you. I want to say wailing crying, but when you sing it, there's so much like, you know, soul into it.
Exactly.
That's how I feel with like I think how it feels with for me, I think it's Boys to Men, End of the Road, and then All for One's I Swear, that too. Oh my God, that one's like I'm just putting so much emotion and heartfelt into that. Because you have to. You can't just be singing that shit. You can't be singing that shit monotone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta put everything into it. That's funny, bro. That's funny.
How do you build, going back to Dated and Faded, like building community is it's a skill. I don't think people realize how much of a skill it is. And you've been able to do that. So what are some key essentials to building a community, you know, whether that's a person that's looking to do that or even for a brand?
Oh wow. I think it comes from yourself, like stemming and making sure that you're presenting yourself authentically, and all you have to do is really just show everybody else what you are about, and if whoever resonates with you in that sense, find a way to bring them together. That's what Dated and Faded is. It's just a culmination of people who think like me, dress like me, like music like I do, and you know, everyone has their people. I think the skill part is finding them, just finding that niche of people that resonate with you through and through. And that's the most supportive fan base. They'll never not support you because they know exactly what you're talking about, like whether that be through garments or music or whatever medium it may be. Like if they fuck with you, they're gonna fuck with you, not just because you're dropping cool shit.
Yeah, I actually don't know the name behind Dated and Faded. Where did that come from?
So our main ethos is vintage clothing. So dated meaning like old, right? And then faded, like most of the vintage clothes are faded. So we just put it together, dated and faded, and then like we sell alcohol and stuff like that. So kind of just, you know, it goes into it. It's a cool, I think it just made sense for the market. So. Yeah,
that makes sense, man. Yeah, no, I don't know why I didn't put that together, but it makes a lot of sense.
Dated like clothing and, you know, faded.
I thought I had to do with the Lover Boy Essentials part because of the dated part, but that makes outdated. Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, man. So I want to get into the just fast 5 questions.
Let's do it.
You can do it in, you know, one sentence or one word.
Okay.
So one is, if you had to pick a meal for the rest of your life, what would that be?
Oh shoot! Am I bodybuilding still? Can I ask hypotheticals?
Hypothetically, this will not affect any of your fitness journey.
Okay, only one meal. Okay, so let's focus on taste. It would probably be some type of meat and then rice. Okay. So do I have to be more specific?
I'm more from you curious, like what kind of meat are we looking at? So, what kind of rice are we thinking about?
So like jasmine rice, and then like for me it would be like like a beef steak, or that's a Filipino dish for people who aren't Filipino, or like that type of combo. I feel like it's unmatched. Like that, or like beef and broccoli, like rice and beef and broccoli, that, or like something. Like, can't go wrong with that. So that would be my for sure meal.
In your tier of Filipino food, where does sisig or lechon sisig fall into?
God,
bro,
dude,
I love it.
Sisig is amazing, bro. That might be my favorite, actually. Sisig is so good.
I like can't like we have a Filipino spot back in where we are, and I dream about the sisig,
dude.
I dream about it.
Sisig is amazing, dude. One of our top tier meals for sure.
Yeah, my second question of the Fast Five is favorite song to sing in the shower.
Oh man. To be fair, I'm not that much of a singer in the shower anymore. I used to be,
but there's got to be one, where you just in the right mood, or like everyone got the song in the shower.
Yeah, it would probably be like an Usher song, but there's nothing really that comes up in mind. Yeah, I haven't been singing in the shower lately. That's crazy.
It's time for a change.
I know.
That's where the sand goes in.
yeah. That's the sand right there. I need to figure that out. So I guess I would just say like maybe Usher.
Be screaming like, oh, no. I feel like everybody does that part.
Yeah. I do. I just lately, I don't know. I haven't.
All right, I feel like that has to be part of the 75 hard now. Yeah, daily. just
take in the shower.
My third question is go-to dance move.
Smees for sure.
Hey,
Smees. It's easy. You can hit that to anything, and then like it'll go into like a Dougie or a sea walk or something. Like I feel like adding a Smees to anything, it gets the party turned for sure.
Can we get a demonstration?
I'm
just saying, you don't have to. If you could have a meal or sit down dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh, easily be Kobe, without a doubt. Mm-hmm. It's I've never got to meet him in person, so I think I've met him before and taken a picture, but obviously I haven't had a conversation with him, so we just love to talk to him. Like he was a big part of my life, and like when he passed, like dude, I felt like I lost a family member. So yeah, that's just, maybe it's through other cultures, but definitely through Filipino culture. Like he was a big part of like my Sundays with my dad, like or like whenever there was a Laker game, we'd barbecue and watch Kobe play. Like
nice.
So that
I felt like a lot of LA or California, like when that happened, I felt like it was a different mood. That day.
Dude, 100%. Yeah, it was all over the place too, and I felt like I couldn't do anything really that day.
Yeah. I know my knees got weak when I found out, and that was tough. That was tough. Even being a Celtics fan, like you can't deny how great of a person that he is. I think too.
Yeah, mostly. Dang. So even as a Celtics fan,
yeah.
So that goes to show that how like deep Kobe's mentality goes through anybody really. Like I'm sure you went through finals hating Kobe. Like
yeah. Mm-hmm. Like this motherfucker. My last question of the Fast Five is one word or sentence that describes your life up to this point.
Wow.
You could think of that one. I know that
one sentence.
One word.
Oh, one word.
One word or one sentence that describes your life up to this point.
I would definitely say possibilities. If I had to do one word, it would be possibilities for sure. Because I want to be a beacon for people that who may feel like, maybe I can do this, maybe I can do that. I want to be a beacon for people to just show them that it's possible. You can succeed in multiple facets in life and never to put yourself in one box. Like I don't want to ever be just the clothing guy or just the engineer or just the bodybuilder, because life is so complex where you can't just be one thing, or you shouldn't just be one thing, right? Like you shouldn't live your life and be like, oh, I'm just this guy, because then you're limiting yourself. So possibilities for me saying that is you can do anything, and reminding everyone who's listening that it's possible.
Yeah, we're complex creatures, and you're a prime example of what you just said, man. All right, man, let's get into the last three questions I'm going to ask you today. And these are the big three questions. These are the questions that can leave the final message with our viewers.
Okay.
And my first question is, if you could sit down with a younger Ryan, what would that interaction be like? What would you say? What would you guys do?
Oh, wow. I would tell him, first of all, that like everything's going to be okay. Like there's been times where he was worried. And I just want to remind him that everything's going to be fine. And have that conversation. Like I wouldn't really change anything. I would just say, keep doing you. And if there was some advice maybe I would give him is maybe focus more on living in the moment. Like living in the moment, because once it's gone, it's gone, man. And that's all you have is the memories. So be more present is what I would tell him.
Gotcha. Beautiful, man. My second question is, what does becoming the highest version of yourself mean to you, and how are you doing that today?
Oh, being the highest version of myself means that you're maxing out your potential every single day. So let's go back to the golf balls. So making sure you finish your golf balls every day and pouring as much sand as you can in that jar after completing your golf balls. And that's your highest version. You want to put those daily deposits together every day and don't focus too much far down the road. As long as you're doing your daily deposits every single day, you're reaching your highest version.
Beautiful, man. My last question to you is, if you could connect me with someone to come into this podcast, who would it be and why?
I would definitely say my buddy Brandon. Like if you can get him on the podcast, that would be amazing. He's a finance guy, and he teaches stocks to pretty much everybody in Oxnard. So if someone knows trading, they probably know Brandon. Gotcha. And I think that's a cool thing. He brings people together. Like one of his superpowers, I always tell him, is you can bring the most random people together. And I always remind him. We just had his bachelor party a couple weekends ago, and it was such a I wouldn't say random mix of men, but just different walks of life, right? Yeah. We all kind of know each other to a certain extent, but at the same time, we all come from different walks of life, and I think that's his superpower. So I would love to see what his highest version would be if you got him on the pod.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a true skill that not a lot of people can do. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to that. All right, Ryan, is there anything you want to plug? Like where people can find you, Date and Faded Retour, where can they find all of those things? Yeah,
so my clothing brand is at Retour Co. on Instagram, TikTok, and then Date and Faded is at DNF Market. So if you're in the Ventura County area, if you're like into clothes, vintage, little knickknacks, live performances, DJs, if you want to just come down and get a drink, we do the market quarterly every year. So, and our location always changes and upgrades. So we hope to see you guys at one of them.
What's the next one for Q4 in
November? Year? So we are projected to do our next market in November. I think 15th is the day we kind of decided.
Okay. Make sure you guys look out for that. Again, Ryan, thank you so much, bro. It's much pleasure, and it was a blessing to sit down and talk to you today. Thank you through all the technical difficulties I went through.
Man, but it's part of the game.
It was a beautiful conversation, man. So thank you, man.
Hell
All right, guys. If you like any part of this clip, make sure you tag me and Ryan in it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you know when the next episode drops. And as always, let's fall in love with the process of getting better every day and becoming the highest version of ourselves. Love y'all.